Hey guys, it's Hyde. Welcome to the YouTube Q&A, where I answer all the questions you guys are dying to know about Hyde. Let's get into it. So my most memorable live show that I've either watched or played. I would say the most memorable live show that I've ever watched was when I went to Seattle with my buddy Marco and a couple other friends, and we went up to see my favorite band, X Japan. Back in 2010. It was an amazing show. It was the third show out of all three that I went to go see them on the West Coast tour that they did. It just blew my mind being able to see there and stand in front of people, and stand in front of a band that I thought I'd never be able to see live. And being able to have that experience with such close friends of mine was an incredible experience, and it just made it very memorable for me. The most memorable show I've ever played, I would have to say, was with my last band, Painting Chaos, when we opened up for Steel Panther down at the Roxy in Hollywood. Everybody knows Steel Panther is one of my all-time favorite bands, and having the opportunity to open for them in front of so many of my LA friends who had never been able to see me perform live was just absolutely mind-blowing. So I came up with the name Boku wa Hyde because Boku wa Hyde in Japanese means I am Hyde. With my love for all things Japanese and the Japanese culture, I wanted to find a way to incorporate not only my nickname Hyde, but the Japanese culture into what I was doing. So Boku wa Hyde became a brand and almost an identity for myself, tying that in with my nickname Hyde. My biggest dream is to just continue doing the things that I'm doing now, growing with you guys on Patreon, growing with all my baby bats, and having you guys be able to continue to follow my journey as I follow this path to just chasing my dreams with music, content creation, and everything that I'm doing. So I would definitely say my biggest dream is just having you guys follow me on this journey and watching me and helping me get to the highest peak that I can. My favorite position is CEO, or owner and operator. And why? Just because I like being able to take control and just make things go the way that I need them to go to continue my success. I would say an irrational fear that I have is all my baby bats leaving me all alone and to never see you guys again. So the whole vampire image kind of really started with the Japanese visual kei bands. They always took on a very almost vampire kind of look, not necessarily fully into the vampire thing, but I was very inspired by a lot of Japanese bands at a young age, probably around 13 or 14. And when I saw them visually, it just really inspired me to kind of take on that darker aesthetic. But I've just always had a love for vampires, so I wanted to find a way to blend the two images together, and this is what you got. The weirdest fan encounter I've had was I met these older ladies at a show up in Sacramento. They were all probably in their mid 50s and 60s, and they were all fighting over who was going to take me home that night. It was a very uncomfortable situation, but it was funny nonetheless, and I had an amazing night. I did not go home with any of them. However, we had a great time at the venue, laughing and just making jokes about the fact that they thought they were taking me home. Thank you guys for all your questions. If you guys are dying to know more about Hyde, please submit your questions through Patreon or Discord, and I will answer them on the next YouTube video. Thank you guys all so much for being part of the Patreon and the Discord, and I am looking forward to answering more of your interesting questions.